Okay, the May meeting of the Board of Water Commissioners is called to order.
You know, and some of them have like 3 months, I think, give 3 months waiting period. But it's been a few months, so I've just been looking at it. I should have done it.
Reading of the minutes of the previous meeting, I have a motion, or is there, I got like, I guess one minor thing was on the roundabout. I think the actual request was getting an accounting of our expenses on the project as opposed to a refund. Because I don't know if we're going to get a refund, and I don't know if we, and that was kind of the question, is should we even ask? leave it well enough alone, or so that was the only minor change I have to that.
So they put a request in your week? Yeah, they're just waiting for the.
Yeah, I emailed.
Okay, and we haven't heard back. Well,
I've heard partial, I got partial responses back, so I'm waiting for a little bit more, I can know that.
So I guess motion to accept the minutes with that minor edit. I have a second.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Okay, those in favor?
Aye.
Alright,
Okay. We're still ordering the bills and accounts,
Yes.
correct? So let's move on to Cooper Lake.
All right. Dale is continuing to move forward. They're working on the spillway. Last time I was up there, they had 10 sticks in, they're pressure testing, which shows no leaks. They've done the excavation for the new intake tower. It's down to the grade it's going to be at. They have
So they're actually working on the dam itself?
Well, they're preparing the tower to begin, so they're doing the concrete footings for the tower, they're pouring concrete over the spillway. And they also.
Oh, the
have-
spillway, okay.
They've cut off a section of the core wall, the old core wall. Not all they're gonna cut, they've cut a section over by the new intake tower, that's been removed.
Okay.
So there was a section of the old core wall that was cut out. And that's.
And then they have to refill that then, or
Refill,
the core?
there's gonna be a clay core instead of the.
Masonry or masonry, right?
Yeah, it was masonry, quarter wall. It was a concrete quarter wall.
And they cut that out.
Surprise.
Yeah, I thought the plan was they were just gonna plug the pipes that went through the core.
Well, this is on the other side, this is on, not on the middle, this is also the side where the new intake tower is going to go.
The women take towers further away.
Over by the old spillway area. That's pushed
Oh,
that
okay.
direction.
I didn't even know there was a core wall.
The west
I thought
side.
Quarter wall around the whole distance.
Oh, did it? So this is gonna be over closer to the spillway where the new
Tower,
Yeah.
and the new lines are gonna go, okay.
Right, it's 5 feet high.
I think some of the board members like myself would probably like to go up there and see exactly what we're encompassing on this project and
Okay.
know what we're talking about, because I know a little bit, but I don't know all that.
Yeah, it would be good to see where it is since we're
Right.
spending all this
What
money.
we're doing and have it in.
And maybe we can,
visual.
I'm available most days.
Me too.
So, you and I can maybe just make an arrangement to go up there.
Yeah, sounds good.
Take it with Matt. I mean, Thursday afternoons are only.
Fine for me. This Thursday will be because I have a meeting on Thursday, but after that.
Yeah.
it's just one-
Work something out for next
Several
week.
times.
Okay.
And let's see, we got, in terms of the Ashokan connection, they've done the tap by the PTF building, that is done. They dug for the new vault that's gonna be there for the connection. And we're making progress.
When you give us this printout every month on the Cooper Lake Dam rehab contracts.
Yeah.
We have the contingency amount. And then the part about paid from there was blank.
So what I was doing was, I was decreasing the contingency and increasing the contract amount. So the total is staying at 15.8.
Okay,
But if you looked at like last month's, the 226 would have been higher. So when it comes out of contingency, I put it into,
So that's what's left of the contingency.
yes, because it hasn't actually been paid, the part of it, we had done the change order number 3, we hadn't paid it yet.
Oh, okay,
It's just we moved it into the contract for now. So that's kind of how it was showing what we had left for the contingency for change orders.
is there a way you can just,
I mean,
I guess so,
we can put footnotes on the bottom that show what's come out of the contingency, something like that.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
because it's
It's like
like,
technically the paid is what's actually gone out the door,
right,
and that's not necessarily what's come out of contingency. So we can work on that.
okay, so the 226 is what's left in contingency, and if we looked at
Yeah.
last month's, it would have been
$15,000.
$715,
Yeah.
$750 higher.
Yeah. But we can put footnotes or something.
Oh, okay, just because I'm looking at that and I'm saying, well, even, that's fine. That helps me out then too. Okay.
That's no problem.
Anything else on Cooper Lake? So we're moving along and maybe Jim and I can get up there next week and just take a look at it. Transmission main rehab.
So Schultz is back on site. The 18-inch transmission line, they finished the work on that. We shut down last week. And they put the new T in. We did have a little bit of an issue when they shut the 18 down. The pressure in the city dropped a little bit. So we had to do a line stop at compliance point to get the pressure back up that we weren't anticipating. But as soon as we got it in, the pressure went right back up to normal and there wasn't any issues beyond that. But so we have 3 new valves there, 2 hydrants that are new.
How many valves? 2?
3.
3. And these are all over at the compliance point.
These are at Voices Farm. So turning the 18 back on this morning. Activated fully now. And we're working on shutting down the 20-inch main. So we were shutting it down today. The guys are still out there right now, finishing it up.
And then you'll be working on valves for that then?
And then Schultz will replace some valves on 20 at Voices Farm. And the hope is they'll be done with the entire project by the end of next week.
So how many valves are going in on the 20?
3 as well.
Same.
There's a T, so just 1 on each side of the T.
So we almost lost the system, I hear, though. When they shut things down from, or the pressure.
The pressure went
Went
down. I mean, I don't think we even got a single phone call, so it wasn't anything that was, no, it was just, we wanted to make sure the city had enough water, so we had to do the line stop.
Okay.
And the contractor, it was contractor error, right?
They cut the pipe and there was a piece they did not have. So we had to do something to get the 18 back up. Yes.
Something, right? That call in the morning.
Yeah, but we got it, everything went back to normal as soon as we got the 18 back up to their compliance point.
Baptism by fire, right?
Yes.
Okay. We had 2020.
I know last month I told you we were meeting with the engineer that Monday. We had to push that back because we were working with Schultz and that is also CDM. So he was on site with Schultz. So
Okay.
we pushed that meeting back and we're hoping to do that this coming Monday again. So that's the 16th, I believe, and we'll discuss the valve project. And hope to get that out to bid soon.
And these are mostly distribution
Correct.
valves, right? You ready to jump back to do bills and accounts, Joanne?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the bills and accounts as presented.
Second,
Okay, those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Quarry Street.
The bids are out. They went out. Is it Thursday or Friday after the last board meeting, maybe, but they're due on the 19th, so it's next Thursday. And Dennis Lario says we'll have a letter of his recommendation for the June board meeting, which is the 8th.
How many people picked up packets or anything? Do you know?
He sent it out to several. I can look for the email, but he sent out to some that in the area that he thinks would be
Okay.
interested in doing that.
And I'm assuming it also was posted in some public
It went to the Freeman, yes.
venue or whatever. Okay. And the hope is that we're gonna be able to actually do this work here in the summer.
The contract calls for it to be done between June, end of school and end of August,
Okay.
so before school's back in. And I've reached out to the school just to let them know the bids were out and when they're due, and just so they're aware. I don't know what they do in that building for summer school, just to make sure they didn't forget about this.
Yeah, because I think that's their central kitchen there. And they may make food there for like some of the summer feeding programs.
I'm not sure, but I reached out to Tom Clapper and just let him know that the bids were due on this date, and if he has any questions or anything, to reach out to me.
Okay. Did we ever get clarification about those other couple of homes that were?
They are tapped on Howland and how that needs to be handled, I guess, when the project's bid, we'll have to, they are tapped on Howland right now, so whether that needs to be changed or not,
Okay.
because we don't have a main up there.
Right, that part of the main is actually the school system's
Correct.
8-inch main or whatever. And ideally for those homeowners, would be easier, I guess, for them to tap right into that main because it's right in front of their house as opposed to running their service line, you know, an extra 60 feet down the,
So I don't know if their services will have to be, they might be able to leave them right where they are.
well, they are, I guess. I mean, but if they obviously have a problem with the service line that has to be repaired or replaced, then they, you know, well, I guess that's what the risk they took when they hooked in
Right.
that way, and that was before I think that line was, Bailey was there, or that line went up to Bailey. Okay. Tech City,
No changes with Tech City, they're continuing to pay the bills, we're continuing to send iPark the bills.
okay,
I have yet to hear back from Dan Dayhouse. Anything changed over there or what their plans are over there? I don't believe the water has increased in consumption since they've gone back down.
Yeah.
So it's
still
gone
down to what the expected level should have been,
Yeah,
without all the leaks or problems.
yeah,
So
so they must have fixed
Yeah,
whatever.
And so when is the end of their next quarter, where they're gonna see the big
next bill, I believe. or January.
Yeah, the end of this month.
end of May?
Yep, that's when they're gonna get their,
So that would be the full contract of 22, 58, 22,
yeah, 2880.
28, 80. It was a weird number.
Yeah, it is.
That's what the quarter is,
Yes.
20,
80 units. They're not gonna reach it.
oh, that's units.
Yeah.
And they're using what, like 600?
Yeah, I think this last
500,
month was
600.
4.
Oh, is that
something.
wrong?
Yeah.
So it's 4 and 6, so they've used 1,000.
Yeah, and then.
And then they're gonna use another 500 and so, but they're gonna get billed for almost double,
2080. Yes.
almost double.
Yes. 2080.
And we'll see what happens then, huh?
That might be when we hear about their plans for the future. Or when they get that last bill.
I don't know if they've closed on that transaction, that the title to the property. Does anybody know that? Haven't heard.
I haven't heard anything.
No, I haven't either.
Since that last call we had, I haven't heard from anybody over there.
As long as you get paid.
Right.
Yeah, at this point in time.
I was talking to Dan like a week ago, I could have asked him about that.
About where they are with the closing of the property.
I emailed the bill.
He just said, they're paying, right? Everybody's gonna pay, yeah, we're gonna pay, but.
I emailed to him and he pays it, so.
Okay, it's better than the other guy.
It's an improvement.
Okay. Moving right along here, correspondence.
I feel like I need some more here. The only thing I have is a temporary access agreement from Central Hudson. So Central Hudson is, they're replacing their transmission line from basically Kingston to Catskill, and a section of that runs by, through our land at Binning Water Reservoir. And they're just looking for an agreement to have access to cut trees and do the work they need to do. And Bill has reviewed it, and he also has an addendum here that Central Hudson has agreed to. Let's see, it's for a 5-year term, which I believe Bill got from the terms of the board. And that's, I think other than that, it's basically just they want to get in here, trim some trees, vegetation, and have access to the area beside the fence when they need it.
So we're agreeing to a 5-year term, is that what this addendum is?
Agreement shall extend for a term of 5 years from the date, and then
Okay.
be able to extend it for an additional 5 years if needed.
Okay.
I think originally they were looking for on just a,
Yeah.
yeah. So.
Yeah. You have to be careful with them.
And that's also in the addendum that, they can't do anything to affect the reservoir in any way. And, everything is remain locked and can't damage the fence. No herbicides, chemicals that will get into the reservoir, stuff like that.
Okay, it's something I'll get it, I'll sign at the end of the.
Yeah. Do we need a motion for that, I'm assuming?
You need to authorize them to sign it.
Do we need 2 separate motions for the agreement and the addendum, or just one?
No.
Just
enough?
one?
It's all one.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussions? Okay, not hearing any. Those in favor?
Aye.
I
Opposed? And so carried.
have just one more question about this. So they're replacing the line, right? That's what the whole thing is. They're-
Yes, so I think what they're doing is on the transmission lines, you see that like the big lattice towers,
Yeah,
they're replacing those with single pole
okay,
structures.
okay.
They kind of come over the 209, I thought, and then they must cut across. So I remember when I'm going over 209, I kind of remember seeing,
The section I have just shows our property.
okay,
I looked it up in that particular project and it runs all the way up to Catskill.
Catskill down,
For that.
and it goes to, you don't know, what is it terminate?
It's the, what do we call it here? It's the 23.6 mile corridor between Kingston and North Catskill.
Okay, so it must terminate someplace nearby.
But it's basically, I think we're pretty much the beginning of the or end of the line, I think. Right there, I think one or somewhere
Okay.
for that particular line.
Okay. Superintendent's report then. And got a substantial rain in April, didn't we?
We did. Hopefully we continue.
Yeah, so that the reservoir levels can stay okay. And I'm assuming that the stream Mink Hollow is
It's running.
running. We're pulling water out of it.
Yeah, we're open.
Okay.
1096, but we're
Right.
maintaining.
Okay, and any comments? If not, I'll accept the motion to accept the superintendent's report.
I'll make a motion to accept the superintendent's.
I'll second it.
Okay, those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Executive session, you have anything?
I don't have anything. We had posted the vacancy last month. It was due today. We want to make sure we get the right person for the office. And
Okay,
we got 2 applications in. We're gonna set up interviews and make sure we get the person that is the office.
so that was for the accountant title?
Yes.
The accountant's position,
Yes,
this is for the new revised amount that we had talked about.
correct.
One of those persons didn't happen to be the candidate across the street that,
No.
no? Just curious.
No.
Okay,
So when are you gonna make the appointment, next month or?
As long as we can find somebody that we think that, I would hope to have somebody for you guys. at the
Out of
gym
the
meeting.
2, you only have 2.
I mean, Jackie was not there this afternoon, so there may be more that came in today.
but they were due today
That was what we had put on
on the announcement.
yeah,
Okay,
I put it as widespread as I could, so it was
Okay.
out there.
So you guys interview and then we have to okay it or?
yeah, then he comes back to us and makes recommendations for the board, probably at the next meeting,
Hopefully,
for a candidate. If not, we'll have to figure out what,
evaluate it.
go to plan
You
C.
got 2, that's better than 0, right?
Yeah, no,
As long as there's somebody you can work with and
it's good. Yeah.
they'll have to pass exams. That's.
Yeah,
Yes, they will.
there'll be, the appointment will be provisional pending exam,
Yes.
just like a bunch of other people here, right?
Plus they come off the
Yeah.
list, right? The 2 people come off the list.
There's no list.
Oh,
There's no list, this is just open hire, basically.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you don't have to score.
They will.
No, but they will, once, if you hire whoever we hire. And,
So they
I'm sure we have,
That's prior, this is.
If we don't hire from a list, they will need to take an exam.
Okay.
be reached.
Is there anybody from the list or not?
There is no list right now
Okay.
with this title, so they have to take the exam and then be reachable on the list when the exam is due, whenever that is. It could be on a month, it could be in 3 years, so.
Gotcha.
generally by that time, they don't have to either pass it, or do they have to split in the top 3?
They get to be reachable.
Be reachable in the top 3. Okay. That's pretty quick. Huh? The only other question I had, and we'll talk about Judy's retirement afterwards. Did we pay her out for all her retirement stuff?
Yes,
So where does that show up in the budget?
that's going,
Is that right through administration?
that's in
Regular pay?
retirement payout.
Oh, retirement
Fourth
pay.
one down.
Okay. So we have that account.
We do, we haven't made that, so we want to.
Do we want to do that, or we want to hold off? We have one of our accounts that we had sent up
Yes, so we could,
way back when, if you see on the sheets that talk about our accounts,
page 4.
we have
6.
156.
I know they're somewhere.
$153,409 in that account. I don't know if we want to move any money out of
We could move.
this bank account into the general fund to pay for that, or we can wait too. I mean, I guess,
I mean, we could. I'll look at it then at the June meeting, we can, Jay and I'll look at it between now and the June meeting.
I
just
guess,
see.
and you make a recommendation to us what you want to do.
But, I mean, it's in the financials right now, as you'll see it, it does has hit the financial stuff there. So
Right, so even if we maybe take a certain amount out of it.
Yeah, I want to look at like all the other employees that are.
Right, who might be coming up
And see where we're at.
okay, so we'll deal with it next week or next month. Okay, so
Has Judy been coming in and working
Yes,
with you?
yep.
Okay.
I guess at some point in time, we'll have to discuss that because the original agreement was through June. Well, we can discuss that between now and the June meeting and figure out where we are in a month from now on that. Okay, no further business. Accept a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, one of those is a second.
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay.